Good morning, little ones. This is Grandma Carla, and I'm going to read you a story out of this book. And this book is With Sails to the Wind, and it is about Bible stories through the eyes of two little children. Okay, so first of all, we're going to read Sailing with a Runaway, Jonah 1 through 2. Jonah was frightened. He had just heard God call his name. What does he want? Jonah wondered. Then God called again. Go to Nineveh, he told Jonah. Tell the people about their sin. Tell them how I will forgive them if they ask me. No, Jonah whispered, not Nineveh. Those wicked people don't want to hear about God. They will kill me if I go there. Jonah wondered what he could do. He certainly did not want to go to Nineveh. But where could he go? I will run away, Jonah thought. I will go far away where I can hide from God. Can anyone hide from God? Everly, can anyone hide from God? No, nobody can hide. You want to see? You want to see? Hello, Everly. No one can hide from God. Jonah ran away to Joppa, where he found a ship that was ready to sail. Before long, he was on his way to Tarshish, as far away as he could go from Nineveh. Tired and afraid, he lay down and fell asleep. But the wind began to blow, and the waves pounded against the ship, and the sailors grew frightened and started to throw things overboard. It wasn't long before the captain of the ship found Jonah asleep. Get up, he shouted. Pray that your God will help us. And Jonah felt strange as he asked God for help. He was running away from God, but the captain wanted him to ask God to be with them. As the storm grew worse, the sailors tried to find out if someone had done something wrong. They were superstitious and believed in gods that would punish them for doing wrong things. Perhaps that had caused the storm. At last they found that it was Jonah. What have you done? The sailors asked. I'm a runaway, Jonah answered. I'm running away from God. How can we stop the storm? They asked. Throw me into the sea, said Jonah. Well, the sailors didn't want to do that, but the storm was getting worse. Then the sailors threw Jonah into the sea, and a great fish came up and swallowed him. Then the storm stopped, and the wind and the waves became quiet. Here's the picture of Jonah sailing off on a boat, trying to run away from God. And here's the picture of Jonah being thrown into the sea, but pretty quickly a big fish comes and swallows him up. For 3 days and 3 nights, Jonah lived inside the great fish. It was dark and lonely, and Jonah hurt because of the strong juices inside the fish. Jonah didn't want to run away from God now. He prayed and prayed for God to be with him and help him. Then God made the fish put Jonah out on the shore. For a while, Jonah was probably too weak and tired to go anywhere. But when he could, he went straight to Nineveh. Jonah was no longer a runaway. He knew now that he could never find a place to hide from God. Not on a ship, not in a fish, or even in a strange city filled with evil people. What do you think? When God asked Jonah to work for him, what did Jonah try to do instead? Why wouldn't he Why couldn't he run away from God? Do you have the answer? What if maybe God can see everywhere? Okay, God can see everywhere and God knows everything. And guess what? God is everywhere. There's no place you can run to get away from God, can you? When God asks you to do something which you may not want to do, should you try to hide? What should you do? Would you want God to try to hide from you when you ask him to do something important? No. I want God to be there and hearing me when I pray. And when God is asking us to do something, we should obey. This is Grandma Carla with the story of Jonah, and I'm going to talk to you next about Runaway Minnie.